See, I cut it off just for you.
You can do that.
You hate that extra 10 seconds.
You can do that. That's allowed?
It's like you get anxious every week. Yeah, I put it up. I can take it down.
Oh, what do I know? I thought once the fire, well, once you started the fire, it was off and going until it boom.
That's why I'm the producer and you're the looks of the show.
Oh, yeah, the looks. That's pretty funny. It's pretty good. Thank you.
Candidate Sacco.
Oh, that's right. That's
Candidate
right.
Sacco.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, that's me. That's
All right.
Me.
All right.
So, yes.
No, I was going to say, let's kind of jump into it.
Okay.
We usually kick around, 4th of July, but it's actually one of the things that somebody had sent me a text on.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Little criticism for us?
Well, it goes both ways. It was definitely a lightning rod subject on Facebook and in Facebook groups related to Winthrop. Other than Winthrop votes, no one seemed to complain on Winthrop votes.
Interesting, yeah.
It's so once again, the town kind of drops the ball. Now, before I get into what I was just the opinions that I was getting, I'm generalizing a bunch of different opinions, but thank you to the harbor master for being out there. Harbor masters, I believe, maybe the fire department, the police department,
retired Chief Flanagan.
They did the best they could with the situation, right?
Yep.
So it's really not on them, although evidently about an hour after the show was over, 50 more pieces of firework was shot off that were left over from they got wet during the show. So they have to get rid of them, right? So I guess they fired them off, which I thought was pretty amusing. The finale nobody saw, right?
The second, the finale that they did do, or whatever it was, I wasn't there. I frankly wasn't there, but apparently a lot of people left.
Yeah, so that was the thing. So what you had was you had information and disinformation flying around Facebook, all at the same time. Canceled, not canceled.
Delayed.
Going to go off at 10. Going to go off at 10:30. Blah blah. Just kept going, and I sat back. I mean, I was in St. Augustine, so I didn't have anything to say about this. I just it was amazing that the lack of communication to the people, which I don't know, maybe the town website would have been a great place to start. Maybe the town website could have gave updates. It's not hard to put information. Maybe if Winthrop had a Facebook group that doesn't take comments or posts, which there are groups that do that are just informative, right? They could have posted right there, very simply, fireworks will go off at 10:30. They don't think about these things.
Well, that would be getting into the 21st century, right? They actually have the ability, the software out there now where you can manage all your social media, your website, from an app, from your phone. So let's say former Chief Flanagan was still a town employee. He could have been updating all the social media from one spot in real time. But, they can never get approved. They always go for cheapest price when they buy
on the simplest platform, which is Facebook. the most popular platform, which is Facebook, right? It's
Are we
it's a
still-
matter of not everybody has to be on the Facebook, the Winthrop town of Winthrop Facebook group, right? And again, you can set it up to where there's no comments, no posts. It's just informative. And then people go out to their pages and say, hey, fireworks are still on, but they're going to go off at 10:30. Then people can make a decision whether they want to stick around that long or if not. And that way, at least they know, right? A lot of people left thinking it was canceled. So Winthrop really dropped the ball. The town management, from the town council to the town manager, they all have say in this. They just need a proper form of communication for the people of Winthrop. So this would not have happened because it was some of the best reading I've seen on Facebook in years. Dude, I always say it's when Facebook turns into face-off group or face-off book.
Face-off
right?
book, yeah.
When Facebook turns into face-off book, it was some priceless reading. I mean, someone should do a book just on Facebook group posts. It's fun. It's amazing. So Winthrop, once again, dropped the ball, refused to go into the 21st century technology-wise, right? Candidate Sacco. Well, candidate Sacco.
Well,
What if you're elected? Is that something that you would push the town council president, town manager to just update or not?
I would certainly, through the town council president, because charter rules, right?
Oh,
prohibit-
absolutely. Yeah, that's why I mentioned him. Yeah.
And when he's at the meetings, we can address him in informal business conversation. I would certainly want to talk about it, right? I mean, look, when I first met with Tony when he took the job, I was very pleased in general with him because he was just knowledgeable. He has a good reputation. He wants to get stuff done, and he can give as good as he gets, which I really appreciate. And he said give him some time because we talked about the website. Our website's just horrific. And so if you're going to open up that can of worms, I would suggest we look into social media and being able to manage it, from one place so that we can have real-time updates that hit all of the social media outlets, Twitter, Facebook, the website. You can manage it as well. Excuse me. What else goes on out there? I don't know. TikTok, maybe not TikTok, but whatever else is popular out there. I think it would be a good idea. And I think the council, we can't make the town manager do anything, but we can certainly,
it'd be a good suggestion.
Yeah.
Considering he was probably in Ipswich, wherever he lives, right? During his fireworks, it probably went off right, but he wasn't here or there.
How much fog did they have?
I don't know, but you know what I mean? Like, this is a perfect example. So how about this? If they just had a simple Facebook group or page,
I mean,
you can do a page. It doesn't have to be a group. It
Yeah.
could be a Facebook page, right? Town of Winthrop Facebook page, where people could go and look and say, okay, hey, even this, for instance, they're putting the pride flag up on June 2nd, right? Maybe they would have had more people show up there than 20. Hey, we're doing this potluck down at the Ingleside.
We had to move because of the rain date.
Well, regardless,
right?
How many more people are going to go that don't know about this thing? Because the town website, nobody even goes to.
No, they really.
Now, I had posted this on one of the Winthrop groups, and I basically said the town website is a joke. That was the simple post, right? And the responses, you got a couple of flippant ones. You always do in those groups. Like, oh, what can I help you with? It's very easy to maneuver because they don't like me, right? So they're gonna try to play me, right? Like, oh, you idiot, what can I do for you, right? I didn't respond, but the comments started coming in. Yes, you're right. It's not easy to navigate. It's not updated. And a lot of people commented in with one issue or another about the town website and the lack of information. So somebody asked about minutes again. Yeah, somebody asked about minutes. Nobody can get minutes. This is a key component to how town government can disseminate its information now. Back in the day, it was through the transcript, right? And you got that once a week.
Or the in a board, like a bulletin board.
Bulletin board.
Yeah, in the town.
You had back in the day, we all watched Channel 3, right? What is the local access, right? You watched it. Everybody, you still see. You sit there and it has the campy. Huh?
You wanted to see if you were on it.
Yeah, it had the campy music playing with the the bulletins that pop up. Hey, on this day, right? But now everybody watches this. They don't watch Channel 3. Or very few do. It's bad enough that people are trying to dump Comcast, which is going to hurt the town because they have local access channels on that, right?
Yeah, and we're locked in. I don't know how long the contract is, but we're locked into another contract with them.
Well, they dug the ground. They dug up the ground and they laid the wire. They laid the fiber optics, so that's theirs. That contract's never going away unless they sell that fiber optic to another company.
Which they could.
Yeah, but why?
Nah,
they won't. It's like renting a house when the house is already paid for. It's all profit, no matter what, right? So the fact that the town this should be the catalyst to them saying we really have to fix something, because there was a lot of angry people.
I wish.
And fingers got pointed at the wrong people, but people were mad. I give one lady credit. I give this lady 110% credit, right? I don't know her name. If I did, I wouldn't say it, but she had initially posted, right? She had initially posted, I can't believe how bad this is. I can't believe, I was with my kids and they were crying because we had to leave, and she kind of went down that road, right?
Wow.
Yeah, she was upset. She was upset, sure. Right?
Yep.
And she got lambasted.
Oh.
Right. And but this is where I give her all the credit in the world. This woman came on and said, "You know what, Winthrop? I apologize. I overreacted." She threw it out there, man. She threw it out there. She laid herself out, and just admitted, yeah, I probably was wrong. I was wrong when I said that. I was overreacting. My kids were upset, so it made me. And she was very nice about, like, I love Winthrop. I'm sorry I caused so much. How many people actually do that? Right? Very few.
None.
Yeah. So this girl, I was like, you know what? God bless you for doing that. And it was a good reception, right? She got a good response from it. But again,
hey, a happy ending.
It was a happy ending. She saw her, that this was kind of it was maybe an overreaction, which a lot of people do on Facebook. I mean, I do every once in a while. You do every once in a while, But for the most part, I give her credit. I'm just saying, Winthrop, put together a Town of Winthrop Facebook page. That's it. For things like this. They're going to have a lot of events coming up, I'm sure. Farmers market down the center, right? Okay, yeah. So Danielle Rondeau was her name. Oh, God bless Danielle. If you know her, tell her I said God bless her. That took a lot of guts to just throw herself out there and say, I was kind of wrong with that. And it was very well written. was very well written. There was no snideness in it, no blowback. She's just like, hey, I love this town. I didn't mean to, because she saw the fire that came up from that.
Do you recognize that last name?
No, but Kurt Miller says she's a good, and Kurt, if you know it, again, tell her I said, God bless her. That took a lot of guts. And if she ever wants to come on with her votes, she's more than welcome. Whatever she wants to talk about.
Hey, Kurt asks a good question. Who would have been paid to do the updates? I mean, they were doing updates on the Facebook page, weren't they? Who was doing that? Who was doing the updates on Facebook saying
everybody?
Oh, well, it wasn't a town
person? No, it was everybody.
Oh, good golly.
That's what caused the commotion. You know who gets paid to do it, Kurt? One of the people that's doing the fireworks. One of the guys that's there, or one of the ladies that's there. They're there. They're getting paid.
You'll have to negotiate.
Look, if I'm the town manager and I say, hey, Kurt, do me a favor. Like, just keep people updated. It's just, I'll give you a call and say, hey, things are on. Just pump it in there. Pump in a sentence. The fireworks will be at 10:30. If you say to me, are you going to pay me? Get bent. You just hit my shit list, buddy. See, I'll get somebody else that'll be more than happy to do this. It's a volunteer thing, right? Yeah. Somebody can volunteer to say, hey, I'll do it from Boca Raton. Call me. Yep. I'll update it.
Someone's going to get you the message.
Yeah,
so now
call me. Just call me.
They're going to have to pay them to call you. So we're still.
I'd be right. I'm the king of Facebook anyways. I'd be right on it.
The king of Facebook. That's a lot of people in your kingdom.
Carol M says with the police department, with the fighter, kept saying 15 more minutes. 15 more minutes. I'm telling you, dude, it was crazy. I'd never seen like these pages blow up like this. People were genuinely upset. Lack of communication.
Hey, it's gunpowder. It's gun.
Yeah.
Powder.
Well,
gun.
And listen, it is what it is. Next year, people would laugh at this. People are already laughing, but at the time, they were upset. Just better communication with the people of Winthrop. Simple communication.
Well, that's just been an ongoing thing.
So, okay, she said that's what they were being told by the fireworks volunteers. But how are they getting it out? How are they disseminating that 15 more minutes, right? Because somebody could actually have real-time info on their Facebook page, but then somebody else posts it's canceled. So who are you going to listen to, right?
Well, that's just it. There's too many chiefs.
Yeah, you need people were calling and they were putting it on their Facebook because that was the fight. No, it's not canceled. And then you get the people that just do it just to wreak havoc.
Of course, yep.
You can go back and review it and you'll see canceled like on some things. And then if somebody sees canceled and they just put the phone down, well,
Carol, where are you getting all this information?
No, hey, listen, thank you, Carol. Thank you very much. Yeah.
There's an excited community member willing to help.
Well, she's giving us the information we need to know, right?
That's right.
And like I said, good for the police.
In the right direction here.
Yeah, the police department, the fire department, like I started off saying, God bless them, good job. They did the best they could with what they had, the situation, the harbor master, who really nobody gives credit to. And they're out in the fog. They're out there. Like, they're out on the water. And it's not really that safe out there in the fog like that. You don't know what you're going to come across. But everybody did the best they could with what they had. I'm just holding it up to the town management for dropping the ball communication-wise. It could have been handled. Hopefully next year it's handled a lot better.
Well, websites in the websites in the wheelhouse. We'll see how long it takes. I mean, priority shift. I never asked them what the priority is for the website, but I certainly would be curious.
Yeah, and like I said, Facebook page does not take long. I was at River Road, and Erica was at the landing. Erica was talking to the police department. We were getting conflicting info from two locations. It ended up having an amazing seat. Because people left.
Everybody left. Moving to the front
Move
row.
the front row. Bingo. I must be in the front row.
Yep. Hey, front row. What's up? That's what we're gonna call Carol
so
now on front.
Yeah. Did Carol walk around yelling, "It's canceled! It's canceled!" And as people left, she just moved up the chain. It's canceled.
She was posted as a firefighter on Facebook.
And she just takes her chair and moves up a couple more feet. She's right in the front row.
Her daughter, come on up, bring the cooler.
I got him. Come on.
It's a good idea. Shh.
Yeah.
Maybe everyone will forget. We'll do it next year.
She says, maybe I plead the fifth. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. We'll do that next year. Yeah. That's funny. That's funny. So, okay, we beat that horse, right? What did you have over? You have something you want to show?
Yeah, let's, so we Winthrop folks like to talk about, or Winthrop politicians like to talk about responsible development. And the other night on Facebook, a couple days ago, maybe yesterday, I don't remember exactly, one of the beloved men of Winthrop, Mr. Richard Honan, posted a picture of this, and if you can bring it up for us,
Yep.
Scott, this development on Seaview Avenue. Now, for those of you who don't know where Seaview Avenue is, if you know where Pleasant Street is, when you come into Winthrop over the bridge, you take the first right. That leads to Washington Street. But well before you get to Washington, there's a right turn that goes down to like towards the Salt Marsh there. It's near where the Ridgedale's Trestle Stop, whatever else it used to be called, used to be. That's where this is. So I guess I'd like to hear if anyone has an opinion on this. I mean, obviously, people do have opinions, but we talk about responsible development. My position on responsible development is I'd like the neighborhoods to remain as not any more dense than they are now. I really don't think we should be turning two units into 6 units, turning 3 families into 6 families, turning micro, other multi-unit buildings into micro condos and getting more density, because we are crowding people in. And people used to call it Hamlet, the little Hamlet. That goes away. I mean, I think the appropriate place to do development of that kind is down the center business district, maybe Shirley Street, right? That's a bit more zoned commercially. You can build up nice units on the the Winthrop Harbor side that looks over towards Boston. I mean, there's a lot of value to be had there. And I think the big thing everybody needs to understand is I don't care how many units you put in here in this community, we're never going to develop our way out of our budgetary woes. The more money that comes into the budget, the more money that gets chewed up. And it's not the cost of paper clips, pencils, and heat that's crushing our budget. And I'll leave it at that. So at some point, you have to be willing to look at your business, which is the town of Winthrop, and say, okay, we've developed. All right, so let's take a step back. You remember, when did you move out of Winthrop, Scott?
Officially when I went into the Air Force. So that was 87, but I lived back there a few times since then.
So you were gone while they were building that building on Pleasant Street near the Pleasant Park Yacht Club.
Right across the street from John Farmer's house. Yeah, which is why his parents, who lived there for decades, 40 years, they moved because of that.
Right. And, many people say it was a good project. That's an irrelevant debate. It generates the amount of money it generates from a property tax perspective. And how many years has it been there? 15, 20?
20, yeah, at least.
And Seal Harbor, the same. That was going to be another savior to the town of Winthrop and all its tax revenue. These developments came in, and we still mismanage our budget. So we actually do have a spending problem, because no matter how much new money we get, we don't manage it right. So, but anyway, I just getting back to then that, by the way, I say that because that has to weigh into your conversation about responsible development, because part of if you're developing to raise taxes, to raise revenue, to help create room in your budget, and you're not creating any room in your budget, stop developing and start managing your budget better. It doesn't get any simpler than that.
Brought to you by Todd Sacco, candidate for at large.
This podcast is brought to you by.
This ad has been approved by Todd Sacco.
Do you want to see? I actually have a sample. Hold on. I'll show you a sample that I'm thinking about for my lawn signs. See how this looks. It doesn't look that. Oh wait, do it like this. Okay, get ready to have your socks knocked off.
I heard your opponent Tracy Honen's campaign sign is the Ukrainian flag.
Perhaps.
Well, that's the only flag she flies in front of her house.
Yeah.
Nice. Look at that.
Red, white, and blue.
Yes.
Right.
Like it.
I like it.
Like it.
I think I'm going to go with it. We'll see.
Yep.
I'm very close. So anyway, thought you'd enjoy that.
Yeah. I said Ukrainian flag, Tracy Honen, re-elect. Yeah.
I'll take my free press.
Yeah. Hey, listen, you can put it on this show. You know, it's your show. Yep. It's our show. Do what we want.
We do what we want. Yeah.
That's why I say Todd Sacco will be the most accessible town councilor in the history of Winthrop politics. He will. I'm not saying that jokingly. It's going to be on once a week. You have access to him. You want to call the show? Let's see. Want to call the show?
Here's a phone number.
Yeah. Let's see. Call the live stream, right? You want to talk to Todd? There you go. Every week. You can call him up.
Don't be shy.
Transparency at its best. You don't see any other counselors. No counselor has ever done something like this. You don't like something? Give him a call. Once a week.
Embarrass me. I'm okay with it.
No, listen. You're pretty straightforward, man. If you don't have an answer, I know you'll get one. And just like anything, sometimes your answers won't be, some people won't like it, but at least they have access to you. These town councilors that are out there right now, what do they do? You know what they're doing right now? They're sitting at home watching, I don't know, One Piece, watching anime cartoons.
Anime.
But they're not doing this, which if you're elected, you'll be here every week to answer any questions that are asked of you by the constituents, by the taxpayers, the citizens of Winthrop. I tell you, don't underestimate that, people. He's going to have a lot of information if you put him up there. There'll be things he can't talk about, but he'll have the answers when you need them. And Kurt Millar running for Precinct 2. Kurt Millar, Precinct 2 candidate.
Kurt Millar. Where is our friend Kurt Millar? Where's he been?
I don't know. He messaged in, right?
Did he? Yeah. He did early. And then he
Yeah.
disappeared. He had to go get coffee.
Maybe. Hey, so the Board of Health is.
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, uh-oh.
You're on with the votes. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. Let's switch over. Are you there?
I am.
There you go.
You're on with the votes. Thank you. So I do have a question for the candidate.
Okay.
Oh, no.
And the question is, I know that you were on the school committee and you have been on other councils. So what is your record?
That is a fantastic question, and I'm glad you asked that. I get a chance to brag a little bit. So, as a member of the school committee.
So if you want to, I'm sorry, Carl, if you could turn your computer down, because we're getting the feedback. There you go. You there?
Nicely done. Did she hang up?
Holy smokes.
Wait, is she?
I think she hung up because she was getting feedback.
Oh.
Anyways, what's your record? Thank you for the call.
Yeah, so yes. Carol, thank you for the call.
That should be better.
Oh, there you go. Better. There you go. Yeah.
Nice. So, okay. We got a lot of things done the first 2 years when I served on the school committee. I served with Jeff Turco, Melissa Polino, Mark Rotundo, Bill Holden, Brian Perrin. And we got a lot of things done. So a couple things we did on the school committee, as you can imagine, budgets were tight. We walked into a 2 years of middle of a 2-year delayed negotiation. They were 2 years without settling. And new school committee walked in. We had to get up to speed. It was, as always, a tight budget. And Jeff Turco came to me and said, how do you feel about lowering user fees? I know that's something that was on your agenda. How would you feel about supporting free full-day kindergarten? I'm like, of course, tell me more. And we discovered that the federal government gives a grant to any school district, and this grant goes on in perpetuity. It increases your budget by that percentage every year in perpetuity, as long as full day kindergarten is free. Now, I want to stress why this was important. We sent checks back to people who had already paid for their full day kindergarten. And a lot of people who were writing checks to the schools to pay for something that should be included in their property taxes, and this was 2014, 15, I don't want to say they live in hand to mouth, but that money was meaningful to them. And if some of them had kids that were a little older and playing sports, they had to pay user fees on top of that. So my point is, the actions that were taken by the people who voted to include these user fees had a direct and pain and negative impact on middle and lower class families. And so we worked really hard to get rid of that. When we were able to get that injection of cash, we gave money back to the folks who paid. We moved the administrative school business office out of the E.B. Newton and gave the town that building back. So that came off our books to the tune of, I want to say, $50,000 a year or something like that. And maybe I'm making numbers up, but it was a big chunk of numbers. I started a bus program for the school district, a paid bus program to pick the kids up that wanted to go to Fort Banks, serve the purpose of reducing traffic at the fort. Was it a huge impact? Who knows? But what it did do was give some of the kids, like my son and his friends, an opportunity to bond, make friends at the bus stop every morning. The parents got together and the kids enjoyed riding the bus. It did take some cars off the road, and it saved the district more money. So we were able to also lower user fees. So I worked to help the middle class and the lower middle class during my term to lower user fees, make full day kindergarten free. We brought back a writing program into the school district. We settled the teacher's contract. They didn't love the contract. To me, that's good because the kids got stuff, lowered user fees, more programs. We brought Latin back, and the teachers got something, and everybody should win. So that was my record on the school committee. And I also recently served on the ORC, which that committee, and I'll make it short.
What is that committee named?
Ordinance Review Committee. And we simply looked at the town charter and the rules and ordinances, reviewed them as a group, voted on some changes that we thought were necessary to bring forward to the council. The council voted to send some of it off to the voters to vote on. The state's looking at it right now. They'll get back. We actually have a little time to review it one more time. I'm actually hoping to get back on the council and take that issue up again because I want to bring back some of the proposals that we put out. One, to include reducing the size of our government and reducing the term to 2 years to try to attract more people to vote. And I guess my question for the listeners is this. I'll close with this. Should the people who are sitting on the town council right now decide whether or not they should serve 4 or 2 years, or should the voters of Winthrop make that decision? If you think it's B, the current makeup of that town council disagrees with you, and they think they should make that decision for you, because to them, that's the minutia of day-to-day government.
Well, good point. Good point. The caller's still there? I think she is.
I am, yes.
Oh, there you go. Good, good. Did that answer your question?
It did. Thank you. Thank you so much. What are your hopes for the future for Winthrop?
Yeah, that's another fantastic question. I mean, I want to be more specific, but right now I'm really big picture. Like the easy stuff is let's fix what's not working. The website, communication with the people. I believe we should be recording all meetings that are conducted by elected officials should be recorded on and zoomed for posterity. It should be saved forever in a digital electronic version. We have the means and the ability, and we should do that. I want to make this place more attractive for middle class families. Why do we fee everybody to death? Why do we fee everybody to death? I want to. We're driving the middle class out. I want to also, start showing more respect to our disabled people. I mean, we had a recent issue with a tree, and the solution by this council was to either build a walk around so the elderly or the handicapped can walk around this tree, or do 2 crosswalks so they can twice to get around this tree. I want us to be more prepared, more inclusive of our entire population. I want us to be focusing on the people that every day are the ones that make our community the place it is, the ones that shop at our stores, the ones that eat at our restaurants. The way that the economy is going today, and the way we're raising water rates, and the way we're raising user fees and the trash fees and all that other stuff that they're doing, they're taking away the opportunity for us folks that are in the middle, maybe lower middle class. We have less opportunity to go enjoy the restaurants in our local communities and indulge in some of the things that make Winthrop great: boating, beaching. We should be able to do these things, and it shouldn't be a burden for us. And I just feel like these last couple of councils, and the trajectory of this community has been make it more expensive, gentrify it, raise fees, and you can have more bike lanes, less parking, and less convenience.
Yeah. There you go. Kurt Millar said any policy-making committees boards should be Zoom live for those who are not able to attend in person. That goes for disabled people.
Yeah, I agree. That's another thing, right? Meetings zoomed. Absolutely.
Yeah. Every single one of them. So we have now that Bill the Shill Schmidt, head of the Board of Health, will not Zoom his meetings anymore because he got caught lying in 4K. He got called out on this program, and now he doesn't do Zoom meetings anymore. What is that? Right? So I agree, man.
He's throwing a tantrum is really what he's doing. He's mad. He's writing guest op-eds about chicken coops, black plastic, single-use bag bans, the whole kit and caboodle. Anyway.
All right. Well, any more questions?
Nope, that's it. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
How articulate.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for calling. Call anytime.
Thank you.
All right.
Good night, guys.
Have a good night. There you go.
Hey, we had one.
Again, Kurt said it, and we've talked about it in the last couple programs that the town should make it mandatory. What if a disabled person, again, I'll reference your friend, her husband, would like to see what's going on in the town? He has no chance of doing it. And it seems like this current council have no interest. The Board of Health have no interest in helping the disabled people see what's going. God knows they don't write minutes, and when they do put minutes together, they're edited.
Right.
And then if you go look at Bill the Shill Schmidt's minutes, it's a disaster. It's a mess. You can't follow any of that.
Never be able to make heads or tails of
agendas, and it's just like no. So I think that's a pretty good policy to run, and I think Kurt's running on it too.
I think Oh yeah, Kurt and I are definitely in simpatico on that issue.
Absolutely. So, all right, what do we got? What's something else somebody sent me?
Yeah, you had something.
I got a bunch of stuff. So the new bus route has come in. Haven't really seen any information on it. someone said they don't, there's a handful of people, I should say, that don't like it on Walden. They think it's too dangerous. There's too many kids around there. But, nothing is 100%.
No, because I feel like there's just as many kids running around on Herman Street. And, well, actually, let's say there's even half the kids on Herman Street or a tenth of the kids. You can't see them on Herman Street. The kids and the bus driver will have plenty of time to see and react to each other on Walden. I mean, that's open space, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah. Absolutely. So let me see what else. The ferry.
The ferry.
Ferry was late the other morning.
Oh, was it again? And it's not us, by the way. It is officially off the books.
It's good, but it's running. And it's free, I guess, isn't it? No, or something?
It's going to be either free or reduced because of the tunnel closure. That's happened. No one's really talking about that. I thought more people would be, we'd see much bigger impact leaving Winthrop. But then again, I don't go to commute to Boston anymore. So at least for now.
Right. Let's see. What do you have to say about what do you have to say? Again, I think we've said that there's one less person on the Board of Health now, right?
One less person, yes. I believe
Marianne
is not rerunning, is my understanding.
Marianne Dalton?
Yep, Marianne Dalton.
Yeah. So that's interesting. That's interesting.
And
I don't even want to speculate why. No, we could make something of it, but she's, listen, she was probably of the three, in my opinion, just my opinion, the most logical one.
Well,
just my opinion, and she wasn't right on a lot of things, but
the in the end, that board is likely going to look different in 2024.
Right, which is right around the corner.
Yeah, it's not that far away. I mean, it's. I don't know. I still haven't heard anything about Vasili's situation because his chicken coop's still there, and the last time I talked to him, he hadn't pulled a permit yet. So I think there's a stalemate going on there, and I say good for Vasili because, in this particular case, whatever you think of Vasili, he stands his ground on a lot of things. I'm sure he used to be a union negotiator. I'm sure if I was on the school committee, we'd probably have a lot of differences. But in this particular case, he's standing his ground, and he's right to do so. He was given a permit, and they changed the rules after the fact, and they wanted, they could have grandfathered him in and made it simple, and they didn't. And now they brought all this stuff upon themselves.
Facebook user says, I live on Walden. I took the bus. It was great. Good. So there you go. A good experience.
We love that. We love to hear that.
Good experience. Again, it's going to be interesting come the wintertime, access to it, because now anyone that was taking the bus, I guess, has to now find their way down there.
Yeah, from Herman Street.
Yeah. Might not be the easiest trek when it's raining, snowing, sleeting. Let me see. We have everything on the street, trucks, motorcycles, and more. So what's a bus? There you go. Yeah.
Lions, tigers, and bears, oh my.
Yeah, I'm not, get no argument for me. I'm neutral on this. Again, there's certain hills I won't die on in the bus, let me see. What else do we have? Somebody asked me, okay, this has been, they removed the bird fencing today from the beach.
Why? Do we know why? Are they expanding the plover bird sanctuary?
I from what I understand, that particular group of birds is not they're not the endangered species. So again, how much of that information is true, I don't know.
Do we get our beach back?
Somebody was out recently. One of the residents went out there and I guess found a bird in distress and cordoned off the whole area. And that upset some people. You could look at that, two ways. One, it's like, listen, People love animals. There's people that just love animals more than they love people. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I boring you? Did you just yawn?
No, I want you to finish, and then I'll let you know.
Jesus. Oh, I'm sorry.
Does old count?
I'm sorry. I'll speed things up for you.
Moving
We got
along.
15 minutes, buddy. You can hang in there for 15 more minutes. I know you're up at 3 a.m, so you got a long day.
I did this morning. I was up early.
I know. I saw that you posted. I'm like, Jesus, he's up early. So I guess you can look at it the other way, like some people did. And what gives her the right to cordon off an area that people need to walk through? Right.
So
but
what was the area that was cordoned off?
it's up down at the crappy part of the beach, which is the whole beach, unless it's the Highlands Beach. That's the best part of the whole beach now.
Up by the green bars, you mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's my opinion. Other people seem to think the beach is beautiful. They think it's a beautiful beach. Well, well, anyways, I'll get to that in a minute. But they had some fencing up for these birds, and I guess there was somebody posted pictures saying they took it down. So I don't know if that means people can walk through there again. All right, wait a minute. Getting back to this. What is dangerous is the delivery trucks going up a one-way off Walden onto Lincoln Street. One backed up. Does it make it legal? Think not. So the beach itself, in general, is not an attractive beach. It's just not, right?
It's not very sandy.
No, where it used to be. It used to be sand all the way up to the wall.
Yep.
Literally up to the wall. It was sand the whole way. And it was like that kind of golden yellow sand. It was pretty cool, right? From what I remember. It was probably a lighter color, but we like these
cool
nice
beach.
memories, right?
We had a cool beach when we were kids. We had a nice beach.
Had the sandbar, had the whole thing going on there. And anyways, anyway, I've always just corrected on that by my friend Jack. It's not anyways, it's anyway. So somebody might have suggested that why can't Winthrop Beach be a resident-only beach? Like Nahant, evidently, is a very aggressive town where if you want to go to the beach there, you can only park in that parking lot. If you park on the street, people are going to call the police, and the police will come and tell you to move.
Yeah, they will.
Because it's resident parking only type thing. And Nahant is what? Nahant's smaller than Winthrop, right?
Yep.
So they control the I don't know how people have parties. I guess they let the neighbors know, hey, we're having a party, so there's going to be extra cars on the street. I don't know. But what do you think of Winthrop Beach? What's your overall opinion? Ugly beach? Is it an attractive beach? Is it functional beach?
So I think you can find beauty in anything if I'm being honest, right? You could position yourself in that beach to find something you like to look at. My perspective is different than others because I'm like you. I remember it from my childhood and it being a lot more sandy. I don't like all the rocks out there now. I don't care much for the plover bird sanctuaries. I think it makes it look, I don't know. I don't like the look of the wispy grass. I mean,
It's not Cape Cod, that's for sure.
No, and if it's trying to be Cape Cod, it's failing miserably.
Weeds.
I'm happy that the water is cleaner, obviously, thanks to the new.
Hey, that water is beautiful, man.
The treatment plant, right? The Boston Harbor,
that water is nice.
now. Yeah, it's real nice and clean.
Yeah.
But it's also not. We're not getting the most out of it. I mean, let's put it this way: Winthrop's most valuable property is next to a runway, and our least valuable property is on the beach. Go figure.
Yeah.
We do that backwards.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm a fan of now. I don't know exactly what we're restricted by because the DCR or the MDC
DCR.
The DCR runs our beaches now. So we don't have much say over the beach.
No.
But we could have a lot of say over what happens from the sidewalk back, from the end of the sidewalk on the beach side back to the, the other side away from the water. Could have, give out temporary vitriol, what do they call them? Vitriolus licenses, victoriolus, whatever, to serve food and drink, and then like a food truck. Get people to come here, get them to spend money. I don't know. Just riffing, make it more functional.
So I had posted something about that, and it was just an opinion. It was an observation. As you know, I've been back since February. I think I've been back there 4 times, right?
Right. Yep.
So people that think, oh, he lives in Florida, I go back to Winthrop a lot. Trust me.
Probably more than you want to.
And as I always say, my mother's buried there. My grandmother's buried there. My brother is buried there. My first wife is buried there. I plan on being buried there. I have roots in Winthrop, so that's why I'm always going to keep coming back. And that's why I care about Winthrop. I'm from Winthrop. And somebody had stated, so I had made this comment. I wrote this post, and someone said, oh, well, the beach was always dirty. This is a miserable person. You can see right off the bat. The beach is always dirty. As a matter of fact, I built a sandcastle out of tampon, containers or something like that. I'm like, are you kidding me?
I couldn't believe it when I saw that.
They actually said this. It's in the Winthrop Nice discussion group, right? And you'll see who did it. It's, first of all, why did her mother let her build a tampon sandcastle? Right? And I told her, I said, I hope you won a prize for that, because that's some serious determination, right? But what people forget is Winthrop Beach, they're like, oh, people would pollute and people would leave trash. Well, because more people went there. It's a law of averages, right?
Used to be crowded.
Yeah, so you're going to have that. You're going to find pockets like that. But it wasn't the whole beach, right? And people would clean it up. One lady tried to prove her point that Winthrop Beach was dirty because her father went and cleaned up the beach. Well, good for him.
Yep.
Evidently, he was collecting the bottles and cans and turning them in and making money out of it, but he was cleaning the beach. That's what people did in Winthrop, right? That's what people did. But they, Facebook groups, people just want to attack anything anyone says anyways. But my point is, the beach was beautiful. Now, the water was another story, because Deer Island was one big broken sewage treatment plant, and it would float over to Winthrop. That's the stuff. That's where those tampons. It's not like every girl it was her time of the month went to Winthrop Beach and changed out her. Really, people, do you think things through when you write these things? Do you think this through? If there's 50,
what are we talking about?
Well, this is what people are saying about Winthrop Beach. Oh, it was dirty. This is what I have, and this is what I found. They're trying to say Winthrop Beach was a beautiful beach, right? But evidently, every woman in town, every girl in town, when it was that time of month, they went down to the sandy beach and did that. I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying.
Sandcastles.
That's what she said. That's what she said. It's right there on Facebook.
Did you know that
she said that
the pipe that would dump into the ocean in the original plant only went out about a mile?
Yeah.
And now the new one's out like 9, and it goes.
We used to watch it float in every once in a while. You'd see it come in.
You could see sometimes.
But the beach itself, people weren't polluting the beach.
No.
Stuff that washed up wasn't the residents of Winthrop.
It's not any more then than it is now with trash and debris. I mean, dog shit still.
Well, MDC ran a tight ship back then. Yeah, there was barrels almost every other street. There was a barrel at the top of almost every other street.
Right.
And they came by at least every other day and emptied those barrels. Right. So I guess what I'm saying is the condition of the beach is not good. Now, on the other side of the coin, say Winthrop does have a resurgence, right? It has a renaissance. And Winthrop Beach becomes, the pendulum swings the other way, and Winthrop Beach becomes beautiful, like it was, right? Oh, by the way, there is a lot of, or a good pocket of new Winthrop people that hate old school Winthrop people, and old school Winthrop people saying how nice Winthrop was back then. They hate that. They will, oh, you're just old. You're just old. Someone called me old. I'm like, I'm only 59. Like, old? What are you talking about? But I'm glad I'm 59 because I grew up in Winthrop back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s when we had the best of everything.
Yeah.
We saw the best of that town. So say Winthrop Beach has this resurgence, right? It's renaissance. It becomes a beautiful beach again. You know what that's going to do? The residents will be happy. But out of town is going to stop finding it. Because if you go to Revere Beach, you see there's people from Chelsea, from East Boston, from Bedford, from Everett.
I think that ship may have sailed, my friend, because they sail on the Point Beach.
So they do.
A big issue for parking, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So Winthrop, was this by design to keep that beach, maybe, and this is a conspiracy theory, maybe, but does it help the town of Winthrop by keeping the beach in the condition that it's in, keeps people from coming in from out of town? And those finger streets, from Locust Street all the way down to the Circle, all those finger streets where it's parking is already at a premium, right? How's that on a Saturday and a Sunday and a Friday night?
There was a discussion about making, so in front of Euro Beach, there's, I guess I'd call it it's not a green space. You can't park there. There's no grass. So it's kind of gravelly rock and sand with some trees and bushes. You could probably make a parking lot for at least 50 cars there, at least, and you could meter it. And you could charge people from out of town who come here because they're taking up parking spots down the point for the people who live there. And so there was a proposal brought up before this council. I would have voted in favor of doing this. They did, and eventually, I think they pilot tested tagging non-Winthrop residents' cars down the point. I don't know where that stands today, but I would be in favor of turning that into a parking lot, giving the residents of Winthrop, the Point residents, a break, and tagging cars that don't have stickers on them. My opponent was against that, called it racist.
Racist.
Yeah, racist.
Well, because I can guarantee you we know which side of the aisle they sit on. Because everything is racist.
Oh, my God.
So if a white family came from, Revere,
they could afford,
and you told me, Park, that's racist?
They could pay for it because they have the money. I guess that was the thought.
So they're saying that just all people of color and are all poor.
I think that's the implication.
Well, that's what they think. That's what they want. That's how they keep it, keep their machine running. Is calling everything racist.
And then it's a good idea to let the people who live there, who are impacted by the traffic and the parking infringement, they should be getting some money down there. We should be doing a lot more for that area.
When someone uses the term racist, that just means they have nothing else to contribute to the conversation.
Exactly.
That's it. They have nothing else to contribute. They don't know what else to do. They're caught. They're trapped. So they pull that's racist. That what? Winthrop tries to protect itself, tries to take care of its own residents. Well, yeah. So that's it. Let me see. I think we covered everything that was sent to me.
Yeah. Next week we're gonna have Andy Biggio on. 99% sure on that one.
That would be great.
Yep. The author of The Rifle, Winthrop, very accomplished young man, Boston police officer now, Winthrop resident.
Former Winthrop police officer.
Former
T police officer.
Yep.
Marine.
Yep. Former Marine, served his country
admirably. Veteran. Yep.
Great man. Can't wait to have him on.
Let's see. Somebody said, one of my friends no longer alive said Winthrop is going to be for people with money. She was right. Good for boat owners. Yeah. Well, there's people with money that live in these $700,000 houses in Winthrop that think that Winthrop is a racist town.
Well,
and it's not diverse enough. But again, they don't look at facts and show that Winthrop has outpriced middle class people. Middle class people in Winthrop are they're hanging in there, right? They outprice it, and these people live in these little castles in Winthrop, right? And preach that Winthrop is not diverse enough. Yet they know that no one's going to buy a house on their street that's on the government dime.
No, they live over there.
Yeah,
NIMBYs, yeah. Remember?
So that's the irony of how these people think. And I'm speaking Winthrop because this is Winthrop Votes. That's the irony of how they think, right? It's warped thinking. It's conditioned. It's trained, right? They follow the agenda, and just Winthrop is not diverse enough. Well, then sell your house for $400,000. How's that? Go sell your house for Make it diverse. Throw yourself on the sword. Sell that $700,000 house for $400,000 to a nice family that can afford it. That's maybe lower middle class. You know, growing up in Winthrop back in the day, there was I was part of the lower middle class. My family was part of that lower middle class. Just at the low end of lower middle class, right? And Winthrop survived. Like, there was a lot of us. There was a lot of us like that, you know? But unfortunately, Winthrop was an affordable place. My house on Locust Way, my father bought it for $16,000. It's literally 100 yards from the beach, right? $16,000. House recently sold for like, I don't know, $750, $700, right? It was a new house by then. We had tore down the old one, put up the new one and the whole thing, and we sold it, and then they sold it. But
still.
But Winthrop is never going to be like that. So these people have to stop thinking, well, they won't stop thinking like that because it's all, you know, the message. Anyways.
It's the gentrification. That's it. The gentrification has done it to us, and we allow it to happen because we are slaves to the buck, unfortunately. We don't want, live a little bit subpar in terms of maybe the conditions of our front yards. Everybody, they want everyone to have the perfectly groomed lawns in the town and all that. And that's nice, but not all middle-class families can afford that, and high water rates and high property taxes and trash fees and user fees and, higher electric and gas bills. They can't. It's
your bills in Winthrop are higher than my bills here in Boca Raton.
Of course they are.
Imagine that. Yeah,
no.
Property tax higher than, and I got a nice. You've seen pictures of mine.
Yep.
Property taxes are higher in Winthrop than they are here in Boca Raton. The infamous Boca Raton. So Carla Manella Grillo says, I was lower middle class as well. My parents bought our house in Cutler for $22,000. Oh, you got ripped off, man. That was way overpriced back in the day. Overpriced. That's it. I mean, you paid $22,000. That's not even near the beach, is it? Let's see. Here we go. Somebody said we're in overtime now. How about $11,000 on Winthrop Street for 13 rooms? Yeah, see, there you go. Right. Back in the day, Winthrop's not like that anymore. These people can't get that again, but they're in their $700,000 houses, preaching that Winthrop's not diverse enough. We need more people of color in Winthrop. Well,
did you know
they should all get together? The Leonora Foley's and the Tracy Honens, and maybe Tracy could sell her house, and the new owner will put an American flag on the front porch rather than a Ukrainian flag, who, by the way, is your opponent.
Who?
Todd stays out.
Ooh. Am I awake?
Leave that to me. Leave that stuff to me, buddy. All right. Well, good show, my friend.
Yeah. That's
good call. Very good call. It was a good caller.
Good call. Good
Yes.
Good feedback on the write-ins from the people that are watching. And
Yes.
Thank you for that. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Remember, all politics starts at the local level. I would say that this is probably going to be one of the more important elections for which direction Winthrop goes. I mean, we've got a board that a current council that's pretty
left
in the left of its views, and I'm not sure that that's helping us right now. And I think we need to get back to some basics. So please pay attention. Please get out and vote. Please tell your friends. Please share this.
Share this video. Share
this video. And thank you again. And thank you for the calls and questions.
And like I say, thank you for watching. If you liked it, share it. If you didn't, well, thanks for watching this long. We appreciate it. And we appreciate candidate Todd Sacco, the counselor at large, his time and his input and his sacrifice for doing this. That's his, and everything that he talked about earlier, the school committee, the ordinance board, all volunteered. He volunteered his time to do that. And he's going to volunteer his time to do this town council. And you will be able to talk to him once a week. You saw a good example of it earlier. Just call the show. Ask him any question you want. But you got to get him on the board. Got to get him on the council to be able to have that access, to get that transparency that no town councilor in the history of Winthrop politics has done. They don't want you to know what they're doing. This is why we started Winthrop Votes. We're finding out what they're doing. We're finding out what these committees are doing. And we're telling you people. So how much better will this show be if you have a town councilor right there at your fingertips? You can type in a question or you can call them once a week. Once a week for what's it, a 4-year term? But think of that. I mean, this is access to a town council that nobody has ever had. And we're giving it to you through Winthrop Votes. So get out there. I know it's July, but in November, we got to get this ball rolling all summer. And you got to get your people out there. Get out there, vote for Todd if you want, if you want to try to change the direction of the town. Well,
if you want no more trash fees, that's one thing that I'm going to work on eliminating, for sure.
Carl says, does he have a Facebook page? No, but he will.
I will. Yeah, I'm making a web page. I have to get my trusty treasurer will be opening my bank account tomorrow. I'll have a little bit of money, and I'm going to give the green light to my consultant to build my web page, and we'll work on the Facebook page too.
And that's good. See, if you're on it, look at somebody said, I just might watch the town council meetings again. No, you know what? And that's a good thing because Todd is not, I've known him for a few years now. And one thing he's not shy, and he will speak his mind. And it could get interesting at times with professionalism. With professionalism.
There'll be decorum rules. There are rules.
Yes, right? Decorum rules. That's right. That's right. But he knows what he wants. He knows what the town needs. And we got to get him in there. And Kurt Millar, if you're in precinct 2.
2 and 2. We'll see you 2 and 2. What game show is that?
There you go. With that, we'll cut out. We'll cut out. And again, thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. And share.